Did you think it was going to happen?
No. Never did I thought this was a pipe dream. Even after I signed the paper, even though I knew you, we'd had many conversations, I didn't think that I could have a new roof without spending everything I had.
I'm Wes Riojas, and I got into roofing because when I saw people close to me pull almost $20,000 out of life savings just to replace their roof, regardless of the fact that they paid in decades into insurance, I decided to step up and make a difference. And today, I want to give Mr. Mickey McKay a voice to tell his story. Now, you might find yourself in a similar dire situation as he found himself in. Mr. McKay's roof was in bad shape. It had sustained hail damage, and on top of that, it was leaking, and it was destroying the interior. Insurance did not approve a full roof replacement, and Mr. McKay found himself in really a desperate situation. So let's hear Mr. McKay tell his story. So before you and I had met, tell me kind of what was going on with your home, your roof, and just kind of what condition and situation you were in,
Well, basically, about 7 years ago, my roof started leaking. And with help from you, another roofer, I was able to get it patched up. But the patches got littler and the holes got bigger. Yeah.
So when I first took a look at it, we put in those patches you mentioned. And actually, to step back for a second, there were spots where I think in that 6 years there had been repairs made.
Yes.
Right.
There
it looked like now I didn't. That wasn't along in that far back, but it looked like there was something going on, and so some shingles were. You've been doing it for some time.
Yes, I've been doing it felt like forever.
Forever.
And they looked horrible. Number one, when you drive up the street to see my house is the only house you could say, hey, you can find my house by just looking at the roof because of all the patches. It looked terrible. And I was very embarrassed for anybody to see my house. Very embarrassed from the outside. But that didn't bother me as much as the leaks did.
Where was all the leaking happening, and kind of how did that progress for you?
Some of it leaked out in the garage area, but the main part was right in my living room, my TV room. And it was a bad leak. And that's kind of what convinced me that I needed to look at y'all harder than I was, because there'd been little leaks. I've had construction people over here, patch them up, drywall them out, stuff like that. Had termites. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but termites look for water.
It's a good point. So as long as the roof was in its shape, I mean, anything you did inside the house was just going to.
You could tell every time when it rained. You could hear it.
That's a tough scenario to be in. To worry about every time the storm's coming through, what's going to happen.
And I did get quotes from other companies, and they were like $30,000 and $40,000.
Wow.
Because insurance wasn't going to pay for any of it. And I was about ready to spend all my savings to get it done.
It's unfortunate. There's a lot of people that deal with that. Now, before you and I had met, had you filed a claim, or was there an open claim?
I filed a claim, yes, one claim, and it was just flat denied.
Okay. But until we met, did you know, or what options was available to you as a homeowner?
No, absolutely no. I had no idea that other options were available without trusting somebody.
And it had anyone, so really even also other contractors and so forth, no one had even kind of broached the subject?
No.
Yeah.
None of them had said anything about, well, if you don't have insurance, here's X amount of dollars you're going to have to pay.
So when we had actually met through mutual, rep, it was another guy named Mickey.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, he was tied up with some things.
Yeah.
He said, hey, could you, go over there and help him out? And that's how we met.
That's exactly how we met.
And so there had been a claim placed, and that claim at that point was then getting near. It was still open, but it was like almost a year old at that point.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember if that was a denial, or do you just remember kind of what was it?
They used decline.
Decline, yeah.
Whether it was a complete denial or half a decline, it was declined.
So kind of a little bit on my side is when I met you, I went up there, did my own inspection, took photos and documented, and helped with kind of that tarp. I think some of it had blown, and there was some multiple tarps there. But really, what I remember most about it was I was really worried I was going to fall through, even when it was shingled, because the decking, I could feel it give, and it in some places felt like I was on a trampoline. In my estimation, I was like, look, there is hail damage here, and it is extensive enough. Looked at the paperwork. Matter of fact, the important thing that, when I was looking at the insurance was that they were going to cover a small amount. And it was like, what was it? It was like
$250.
Something. And that was it. So it meant that they admitted that there was some damage. So what we did after my inspection is we requested a re-inspection. We're going to do a new inspection. We requested a new adjuster. Now, when that happens, we kind of have to send photos, and it goes to a desk adjuster and all of that. But they respond when they give their kind of conclusion of the matter. They contact you. They don't contact me.
Right. Yes,
and
sir.
So, what do you remember about that reinspection?
I remember a gentleman coming out here, not staying very long. I also remember talking to the inside people.
Yeah, the desk adjuster.
And
what did they end up telling you?
It's just that they were declining the fact that they are responsible for my roof.
At that point, I kind of remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you were just basically like, you're going to throw your hands up. Like, this is like...
I didn't know what I was going to do.
It seemed like it was a closed door thing. And so I tell a lot of folks we're doing re-inspection, and sometimes that's just the next step of the process, and we probably expect they're probably going to, go no.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, right.
And
that's what they did.
They did. And so, okay, we've done the inspection, re-inspection. We're at a place where we can go to appraisal.
Yes.
Yes. Now we're really getting to a point where actually that was probably the most difficult moment for you. Can you kind of express in your words kind of just your kind of experience with it?
I never had any experience with a a public appraiser as such. And here's this gentleman, very nice gentleman, trying to get me to sign some papers, which were all papers that protected him and myself. But it took me a few weeks. I had other people look at this and make sure I wasn't signing away my life.
Yes, absolutely.
And that was the most difficult. Then the major leak over in the TV room came, and I said, "That's it.
Yeah,
I got to do it."
The biggest part about it was to make sure that if there was any fees, that you needed some security that was going to fall on contractor, not you.
Right.
So
exactly.
like if this just goes bust and whatever, that you didn't want to have to be paying anything out. And I think once I was able to alleviate that and say, hey, we're showing right here that that the contractor, myself, we were going to be liable for the cost of the appraisal.
Yes.
That was going to be I think that helped kind of the turning point.
One of them,
Yeah.
and frustration, embarrassment, tired of looking at it, tired of wondering every time when it rains what's going to come down. I was at my end. I really was.
Yes.
And with your guidance, I was able to see past that. And with my skepticism of everything, you just don't do stuff like that unless you have to. People were warning, your insurance is gonna go way up and stuff like that. Honest, none of that happened.
Just so that it said, this is not to badmouth the insurance in any way, but it was just to be, you just wanted to be able to rectify what was right.
Right.
Just what's right. And I think I said this many times over, we're not out to get the insurance company at all. We don't want a penny beyond what is owed.
Right.
Right? This was not at all anything about that. It was to get your home back to pre-storm condition in a place where you could then take care of the things in your home and be able to get back to living.
Right, and that's what you did. You and your company did.
So we went through appraisal. Now, appraisal, is where you get two third parties. Your side, you get an appraiser. They get their appraiser. They come together, and that took a couple of months. I'll ask this way: did you think it was going to happen?
No. Never did. I thought this was a pipe dream. Even after I signed the paper, even though I knew you, we'd had many conversations about stuff, and no, there was no way this was going to.
Been beaten down already, many times already.
I didn't think that I could have a new roof without spending everything I had.
Well, and to have any hope in it would be another letdown.
Yeah.
Why open yourself to that?
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So when you got the news,
I thought really seriously that all this waiting, all this stuff is over with. But I'm the kind of person that says, wait until it's done.
Now, the news was that the proceeds were not even able just to take care of the roof, but the problem was the decking.
Yeah.
You cannot put a new roof on the decking if there's no decking there.
And that's basically what was there, nothing.
There's nothing there.
I saw the gentlemen when they tore it off. They would just literally using their hands and ripping it up. And it was all wet and stuff. So the house was at its last straw. It really was, as far as the roof.
Fortunately, I was able to get the new decking on there, which made a world of difference.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I've received a lot of compliments. I'm no longer embarrassed for anyone to come over.
It's a different house. You can almost pass by the house because you're not looking for the house with that ugly roof anymore.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
It made me real happy. It really did. Even though I was, what do you want to call it, battle worn out.
Sure. You're just tired.
Just tired.
Just tired, beat down.
And the next morning after y'all finished it, I was out there looking at it for about an hour, just looking, going, man, that's all, no more tarps, no more worrying about the inside. Y'all did what you said you were going to do.
Yes, sir.
But you also said it's up to other people to make those financial calls and stuff. You will do everything that you could and you possibly could. And you did.
Well,
point blank. I would recommend y'all for any roofing.
I appreciate that. And, it's, in all businesses this way, but you have to build trust. And in these days, some things, if I was selling you bananas, you would take a lot less trust.
Right.
If you lose, ends up something bad with them, you lose out little. But when it's your entire investment, your home is your castle, it's everything. Right. And it's almost like everything is on the line. And I'm so happy that we were able to do all those things. Now, when it came to the process of the install and install day and everything,
you had called me and said, well, they'll probably be here at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was in September and hot in Dallas. So they were here. Everything was laid down that early morning because they didn't want to just leave it overnight out on the ground. And you were here all day. I had no problems. I had no problem. You showed me drone shots of it, showed me how they took off all the decking. They didn't leave any decking.
It was done.
And it was done, and just an incredible job.
It's like we built a new house.
Yeah, really. I mean, in one day, you did.
So just to kind of wrap things up on just your side, if there were any lessons learned you'd want to share with other homeowners that actually might either be in a similar predicament or not, maybe from pertaining to insurance, some things that you've learned, I wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of share really kind of what you took from all this.
Well, I took that the nightmare was over with, number one. The insurance companies, I thought they would be fair and honest with me, which I guess they were, but they got to protect themselves too. Mm-hmm. And if it hadn't been for, your company, now I'm only talking about your company. I'm not talking about any other roofers at all.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Because I did have a lot of people come up and knock on the door. Looks like you need a new roof. We can help you do it and stuff like that. But none of them, I didn't even let them get up on the roof, a lot of them. Mm-hmm. The insurance companies, they got to do that. But you need to know that you need someone that knows these insurance companies and how they work, and which y'all did.
Thank you for trusting me on your home and on your roof. And when I came over today to visit with you and pulled up, I'm just amazed because you've continued. Because that was taken care of, you were able to put your attention on other things. And like I said, a little paint and little things going on here. Take care of it. You've got a nice property to be proud of. And if you ever decide that you're going to sell it, you're going to not have any issues. If you ever decide that you need to change insurance, you're never going to have any issues. If you need help with your roof situation, reach out and let me know. I want to help as many people as I can. And if you like the video, please click like, share it, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching.